name's Lynn Onstot, and I'm here with Joplin Insider, a show to bring you news about Joplin programs and activities going on inside the City of Joplin. Today my guest is Mary Anne Phillips, our recycling coordinator for the City of Joplin. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, Mary Anne? I want to thank you for being here and helping our viewers learn more about the Recycling Center as well as some other activities that you're in charge of. So we'll be talking about that this afternoon. And I just want to know a little bit more about recycling in Joplin. It's been a topic of discussion for the last couple of years, but I know it's been a focus point for you for a number of years.
Well, it's been my life, for 17 years. We've always had the Recycling Center for the last 15 years. In fact, our 15th anniversary is coming up in January.
Oh.
So that's kind of a big deal. I guess we should buy a cake. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out something to do.
But we started out with short hours and taking just the essentials. Just cardboard and office paper, newspaper, metal cans, plastic bottles, glass. That was really about it. And now there's just,
A number of things.
an amazing amount of things that we take that a lot of other recycling centers don't take.
Like what kind of items when you say that?
Well, we now take plastic shopping bags. We take.
Let me back up. Plastic shopping bags being those that you get at stores. They used to say paper or plastic, but now everybody just has the plastic. Yeah.
You can still get paper at some places.
Oh, okay.
Or you should bring your own.
Right.
Number two, plastic shopping bags. Some people call them in the business. They call them the T-shirt bags.
Oh, okay.
Because if you hold them out, they look like a T-shirt. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But also packing peanuts, bubble wrap, foam. Then we added batteries through the years, all kinds of batteries, even the dry cell and alkaline, and there's not too many places that will take that.
Well, we're looking right now on screen. It looks like they're showing your recycling guide, something that our viewers can find at the City of Joplin's website, joplinmo.org, and it lists a variety of things. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to call out that you mail this out to all residents in Joplin. Is that right?
Yeah, every year around March or April, we mail it out so that people know what the new price is for their trash service.
Okay.
So it goes to all residential mailboxes, but then through the year, we give them out just everywhere we can. The library, the Chamber of Commerce has them. I mean, I have a huge list, all the real estate agents.
I know it's a great resource because it not only lists what you take at the recycling center, but also different vendors in the community that might take the certain kind of light bulb or CFL, is that what they're called?
Compact fluorescents.
That's it, yeah, those, the little curly Q ones, right?
Yes.
Those can be recyclable, right?
Home Depot and Lowe's will take the compact fluorescent bulbs.
Okay.
They're the only ones. No one for free will take the long tubes.
Okay.
Closest place I know is Computer Recycling Center in Springfield.
Okay, so that is more difficult to recycle those. Well, I know at the center you've added some new areas also. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, our biggest thing that we added, our biggest claim to fame, is cooking oil. Ooh, yum.
Who, I would never think about, I just throw mine out. I put it in a can and I throw it out in a can.
And that's a great thing to do. You never want to put it down your drain.
Well, it clogs the drain, doesn't it?
It clogs the drain, and everybody thinks, well, if I run hot water, it'll go away. No, it just flushes it further down, and then
to
eventually,
clog later.
Yeah, to clog later, and then it cools, or
Okay.
it joins its friends, down the pipe, or eventually
Okay.
it makes its way to our wastewater plant.
So we really want to encourage people to recycle that grease. How do they bring that in then?
In whatever container they want, and then they just have to pour it into our bigger container, and then they can leave their old container if they want, and we'll either throw it away or recycle it. Or if they want to wait, they're welcome to take their container home. Most people don't.
And I was going to ask, some of those oils, congeal. They get hard. They form a solid, so to speak. Like you said, they clog pipes and they clog in your can or whatever. So do they scoop it out then, or is there a way to?
The company that comes has a vacuum process.
Oh, okay. So it's very simple. We don't get really dirty doing it or anything like that?
No, the patrons, all they do is turn it upside down on a grate.
Oh.
And then walk away.
Okay. And then
And if it's a real cold day,
yeah, it might take a little while.
then we do have problems. Right?
Yeah, because it does congeal. Well, that's interesting. How long have you been doing the cooking oils?
About a year. I actually make money on it. The company pays the city for it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's the different types of items. Sometimes we have to pay, we being the city, have to pay a service to come and get those items, and other times we may get a little bit of money back because we've collected so much of it. Is that right?
Right.
So what kind of items do we have to pay for? What's the harder things for us to move along? Like you said,
Sure.
those longer fluorescent, they're not even available to recycle here.
Nobody takes them for free.
Okay.
No, I mean, the trash companies will take them as trash, but nobody will take them for free to recycle. But the city, we have to pay for the recycling of our household hazardous waste. But luckily, I have grant money to help pay for that. But that grant money could run out someday. Also, the computers, the televisions, and the computer monitors. I have to pay for the televisions and monitors. Believe it or not, I have to pay for plastic bottles.
Oh.
Because even though I compact the bottles, I'm still shipping air.
Yeah.
And I pay the hauling for glass, but then the glass company pays me for the commodities. So I come out ahead on that.
Okay.
But I always come out ahead on metal. We love metal. I always make money on metal and cardboard, office paper, newspaper.
There's a lot of cardboard in our trash.
You wouldn't think so, especially from just a home, but you do generate a lot.
Toothpaste boxes to like toilet paper rolls or even cardboard, and just cereal boxes. I just was surprised at how much I had when I started recycling.
At least that stuff's easy because you can flatten it down.
Right. Well, I want to go back. I just want to make sure our viewers understand there is not a fee for the recycling center. We were talking about paying this and paying that, but that's not anything the patrons have to do.
Correct. Right now, if you come in, everything you drop off is free as it stands now, but a lot of that is because of grant money.
Grant money that you've gone out and sought, and we're lucky to be, or we're
it's
successful, not lucky.
It's competitive, yeah.
Right.
I have to compete with other cities and other counties and other even for-profit businesses.
So where do these grants come from?
It comes from Region M, Solid Waste Management District. It's sort of a sub-government group that the Missouri Department of Natural Resources created.
Is it just specifically in this area, a certain area of Missouri?
They have very distinct boundaries. So M means McDonald, Newton, Jasper, Barton, and Vernon counties.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're competing basically to get grants that those same counties are looking for.
Absolutely,
Well, we appreciate you working so hard because it is nice to get the luxury of dropping things off that we no longer need, but yet can be recycled at no charge. So,
well, we figure most of Joplin's trash is going to the Lamar landfill, and that's where the grants are based on the tipping fees at Lamar. So we feel like we're contributing to that tipping fee. We might as well get our share back.
Okay. Now, I know televisions have gone back and forth. Where are we on televisions? Does it cost for me to drop off my, if I have an older TV, do I need to pay anything when I drop it off?
Not right now.
Okay.
I have a grant from Region M.
Okay.
It lasts until December 2015.
Okay, so we still have another year that for now, and we, you'll continue seeking that grant, I'm sure.
Oh yes, or even other funding sources.
Sure, sure. Well, we do appreciate that. So now I know the hours have changed at the recycling center. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and some people haven't quite gotten used to that yet. We open earlier on Wednesday. On Tuesday and Thursday we open earlier. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday we stay later.
Okay.
So basically 6 hours a day, Tuesday through Saturday.
And our hours are noon to 6 on Tuesday, Thursday?
Yes.
And 9 to 3 on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You're closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Yes.
Allowing your workers 2 days.
2 days off.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Just like the rest of us that work a 5-day work week, they get 2 days back to back, which is very nice. So.
Well, and of course I'm not off on Monday, so I still have to go in and work with the contractors.
Sure.
Monday's our day to have things pulled.
Sure. Now on screen again, they're showing the hours and also the location. Can you describe that location? I know some people are familiar with Joplin, and some people get a little bit turned around back on the west side.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know we have lettered streets. I have to explain that first. But usually I say we're on the back side of the Public Works Center, or we're next door to North Middle School.
Oh, okay.
And once I say that, it all comes together for people. I think the easiest landmark is A in Maiden Lane, or 2nd and Maiden Lane.
Okay. Okay. So they can easily find it, and you just pull in there and open your trunk or whatever you pick up and just start bringing in your items. And everything is marked clearly. I've seen that.
Oh yes, we have signs all over the place, but it is self-serve, meaning you have to be the one to take it out of your trunk of your car and put it in the compactor or the container.
Well, I know we were talking earlier about signage and how we put things on the sign so people can find them. You recently added a sign to a service you've had for a while in getting rid of personal documents.
Actually, one of our patrons made this suggestion, and I was a little embarrassed. I hadn't thought of it myself, but he said, well, how do people know you have a document shredder, paper shredder in your office, Mary Anne? I'm like, oh, I don't know.
We advertised it, but
yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
So anyhow, about 2 days later, our sign shop made a sign for me, and it's on our shed, and reminding people that we have a paper shredder inside our little building.
So if I have a large stack, again, you have to do it smaller items at a time.
It's 15 pages at a time.
Okay, which is more than the personal one I had at home and kind of blew up a little bit.
And I know
burned out.
it won't take 16.
Okay.
It will jam.
Oh, okay, so 15 is the max.
Yes, 15.
You tested it.
But it will take staples, but it won't take paper clips or binding or anything like that.
Okay.
But it goes very fast.
So the junk mail and the different offers and
tax returns and
after so many years. I mean, there's so many years you want to keep those, I guess. But okay, so there's a personal shredder, which I think is a great item to have because a lot of identity theft going on.
Oh yes.
So okay, household hazardous waste materials. Another area that's been fairly new to Joplin.
Oh no, I'd say maybe 10 years.
Really?
I've had it. Yes.
I guess I didn't realize you even had household hazardous waste. Tell me what do I have that's that?
I wish I had a better name for it. Some cities use just chemicals.
Okay.
But you would be surprised, especially older people who pass away, and then their children come in to clean out their basement, their garage, their kitchen.
Right. Places that they haven't really looked in for a while.
Yeah,
right.
What is this stuff? We get people who have liquid mercury in baby food jars.
Oh my.
A lot of thermostats that have mercury in it. I still get DDT, believe it or not, after all these years. I do. Any chemicals for insecticides, pesticides, home improvement, even cleaning your car, automotive fluids, anything nasty that you shouldn't put in the landfill.
Right, and when you say put in the landfill, don't run it down your driveway with the hose.
Or
thinking you're flushing it out, because you're running water with it.
Yeah, what's the saying? Dilution is not the solution to pollution.
Okay, right. Because I do know people, will do that. I've seen it.
Oh, sure. Or even with oil.
Yeah.
Antifreeze. Yeah, they pour it on the gravel driveway thinking, oh, well, it'll filter down.
Right. Well, it does, and it becomes a hazardous waste to our own environment.
Yeah, it gets into the aquifer.
Okay. Okay. Well, that helps me a lot. Clutter. We all have it in our house, and we start, cleaning things out, thinking we're going to get rid of this, and we open the medicine cabinet. That's a scary spot sometimes. We've let medicine sit in there. What should we be doing with old medicine?
There is such a huge awareness now. There's so many, the Alliance of Southwest Missouri and the state highway patrols and the police and the fire, medical personnel. Everyone's gotten into it now, realizing how dangerous it is. So we have drop-off boxes at both Joplin police stations and at other surrounding cities and counties and sheriffs now also have drop-off boxes.
Okay, and ours is located, we've got it on the screen at Joplin Police Station. We have our South Station and our main Joplin Police Station. It says 8 to midnight, but I know that time has changed 8 to 5
We
at this
recently
point.
had to change that to 8 to 5.
Right, which is basically when those doors are open, by the court. Because it's located right next to municipal court entrance, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so so 8 to 5, if you have medicines in your cabinet, it's time to get rid of them.
We don't want it flushed.
Young hands to get a hold of.
We don't want young hands or especially teenage hands to get a hold of. It's a real crisis actually right now in Missouri and the country.
That we just want to make sure. So you do have a solution for that, and I do appreciate that.
And it's free.
Yeah, and it's free. Again, free. Free is good. We like free. Well, in talking about recycling, people are always looking, this is a little bit different. We talk about chippers and stuff for larger tree limbs, but where do I take my large tree limbs? I've had one fall, or I've had to, trim some trees. What do I do with those?
I get calls like every day.
Yes,
as do you and the code enforcers and
Yes.
everybody else. Finally, after all this time, we finally have decided to open up our tree limb processing site one Saturday a month. And for Joplin residents, though, not for someone out in the county or for commercial people. But they can bring their tree limbs in there. It's the third Saturday of the month from 8 to 2. It's on our North Schifferdecker site. It's kind of hard to find, I admit that. It's between Bell Center Road and Zora.
So if they basically had North Schiff, North Schifferdecker, Schiff as we locals
Or
call
Shiffy,
it, and just head north, you'll see it. It's about, what,
6/10 of a mile north of where Bell Center Road cuts
Okay.
off from Schiffer-Decker.
Okay.
On the west side of the
On the
street.
west side, so you'll be turning left if you're heading north. You'll turn
Correct.
left, so
Correct.
pretty easy to find, and it's basically self.
Yes, you have to unload it yourself.
Right.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not like
So
we-
bring the teenage boy down the street.
Yep,
you know,
yep,
if that's
have
what
them
it
help
takes.
you out. So if for some reason I missed that third Saturday, what else can I do with large tree limbs and things
Sure.
of that nature?
You can cut them to 4-foot lengths, bundle them, put them out with your trash
Mm-hmm.
if you're a Joplin resident. You can get a burn permit, which is not easy
Yeah.
to burn tree limbs. I
Yeah.
know, I've tried. But you can also take them out to the transfer station, the Republic Services transfer station in Galena.
Okay.
But there, then all of a sudden it's not free.
Okay.
You will have to pay a price to drop those off.
Right.
But it's subsidized. It's a lot cheaper than if we didn't have a contract with them.
Right. So and there's certain hours on that, and again, that brochure that we have has those hours on there and a phone number to call.
And
they can
they're
always
very
call-
strict with those hours.
Yes, and they can call you or I if they
sure.
have more information about that. So, because I do know that there is, like you said, a small fee, and it depends on how much you're taking and what size
If you
your
have an
trailer
8-foot
is.
trailer.
Right, there are some specifications, so you just want to be aware. So, well, I want to talk briefly about, we talked a little bit about putting the tree limbs out for trash, but I know there's some bulky items too. Like if I have some furniture, some really old furniture I want to get rid of, how do I get rid of that?
Well, first, if it's an antique, you call me.
Okay.
Okay. But if
First,
it's not,
yeah,
if
okay.
it's a sofa that the
You
that
may
the
get
cat,
calls with that. Citizens, you heard that, yeah.
if the cat has used it for its home for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all you do is shove it out there by your poly cart, but you have to call the trash company ahead of time and say that you have a bulky item pickup. And then sometimes they have to send a separate truck or a different truck.
So they
to
want to
pick it up.
know, so they can
They
schedule
wanna
that
know
truck.
ahead of time.
Because you don't want that old couch sitting there for a week and a half and, yeah.
Getting wet and-
right,
right.
just not looking pretty for the
Making your
neighborhood.
neighbors upset.
Right, and I'll say your neighbors, then we get the calls. So, yeah, so it is good. Go ahead and call ahead, and we'll pick that up, but you need to call ahead.
For free.
For free. Again, that's part of the residential trash
Yeah,
service.
it's not really free. It's built into your trash price.
But it's very nice that I don't have to load it into a pickup and haul it somewhere and burn gas. And, yeah, so that is very nice. And please don't take it out in the county. I'm just telling you now, you have the service, use it at the curb. So, okay, how about paint cans? I do get this call about this time of year. People are coming inside from doing all their yard work. You know, they're starting to move inside and starting to spruce up their place, wanting to paint, but they have some paint left. What do they do with the old paint cans?
I cannot, because of budget problems, not problems, but restraints, I
Sure.
cannot take it with my hazardous waste. I just
Okay.
can't. I'd be broke tomorrow if I took everybody's paint. But paint is easy. All you do is stir in cat litter or sawdust, stir it up really good, leave the lid off, and then put it out with the trash.
Okay.
But if the trash hauler sees the lid on, they'll assume it's liquid and they won't take it.
Okay,
They err on the side of caution
Sure.
because it is banned from the landfill in its liquid form,
okay,
but not in its solid form.
okay.
Another way to do it is take big cardboard boxes and just paint the box with the box, and then once that hardens, you can set the box in the trash.
So let the kids
that's
play.
That's another option you can do.
So to speak, depends on what type of paint. Usually it's washable for the most part. So, but okay. So when you say solidify, so I'm just getting some cat litter and just how long does it have to sit there? To
Well,
solidify?
it takes a while.
Like a week?
It may take several days.
Okay.
It depends on the humidity, depends on your volume. But one thing you have to remember is you have to have more dry than wet. Your
Okay.
ratio of dry to wet.
That
So
makes sense.
if your can is full or even half full, you're going to have to pour that off into something bigger, and then stir the sawdust or cat litter in.
Okay. Now, where would I get the sawdust? I mean, do I just go to a building supply place? Do they have sawdust? Or?
Well, I don't know about that, but we
Okay.
keep free sawdust at the recycling center.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yes, we have a lot of sawdust.
Okay, so
and then
that's
we also
self-serve
have
again?
plastic buckets that we can give people.
Oh, okay. So they can use that. So that would be very helpful.
We give them the supplies, not the labor.
Yes. Yeah. Labor would be fun to. Yeah, we'd all like that. So other things that might need some packaging before we discard them. Sharps. I know there are medications out there now that a variety of people are taking them for different reasons. That we have needles. We have needles in our medicine, so to speak. So how do we get rid of those without causing harm to anyone else?
Well, it is scary for the trash haulers. It really is. And in fact, in this country, I don't know what the statistics are, but almost like one trash hauler a week will actually get stuck.
Oh dear.
With, accidentally with someone's sharp or needle or even a knife. And then they have to be monitored sometimes for the rest of their lives. You know, it's very expensive when it happens. But I wish I had, you know, a safe drop-off place, but we don't right now. But in the meantime, we tell people to put them in some kind of a plastic container. And of course, you can buy the actual sharps containers.
Sure.
But even once you do that, we ask that they put a little bit of bleach water solution in there, shake it up, and then once they are ready to put it out with their trash, dump that bleach water out.
Okay.
Because you sure don't want bleach water mixed with other things in a trash truck that is compacted, and then boom, you've got either smoke or explosion.
And the reason for the bleach water
is to kill any possible germs, so that if the trash haulers do come in contact with that sharp, it's least chance that there's any virus or bacteria.
So plastic container being like an old Tupperware, would that be?
Well, we suggest like detergent bottles.
Okay.
Not pop bottles, because they're too thin.
Okay.
We suggest.
Yeah, because they're sturdy. That makes sense.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And put the lid on it. You can even put tape around it, and then you can even write sharps on
they
it.
know.
That way, when the trash hauler sees it, they know to be very careful.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Let's see, we're leaf pickup. We're moving on from residential trash and recycling center. I don't want to leave that without asking, are there other areas I haven't talked about that maybe you want to mention about the recycling center?
We have a new employee.
Oh, we do?
So come on out and say hi to Thomas.
Thomas, okay.
Yes, he's not new to the city of Joplin. He used to work in the street department, but now he's come over to the recycling center.
Well, what do your employees do? I mean, because again, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's self-serve that you get out and you know, so how do the employees, how do we utilize employees at the recycling center?
Well, they still have to run the compactor, and that's constant, especially on a Saturday. They have to crush the glass when we're closed. They crush the glass. They have to palletize all the electronics, separate the batteries. Then they have to take the different kind of metals to commercial metal company, and the inkjet cartridges, and they're constantly running around delivering stuff.
Makes sense. There's a lot more to it than just dropping it off. And after that, it starts in the stream, and you guys kind of fine-tune that for us.
And just recently, we added recycling bins to some of the swimming pools and the parks and the soccer field.
That's wonderful.
And City Hall. And so that's another one of their jobs, is to come and switch the bags out on those containers.
Well, and that's something I'm just going to make a plea for the public. If you're out in public and you see a recyclable bin and you see the trash can, the recyclable bin may be a few more steps. Go ahead and find that recyclable bin, put your plastic bottle in there, your can. It really does help the environment. So.
Well, a lot of people think once it gets to the trash transfer station that some magic elf is picking out the recycling, and they are not.
No.
Legally, they can't. Once it hits that transfer station, unless it's banned from the landfill,
Okay.
they are not supposed to bring it back out.
Okay, well that's important to know. So, okay, so thank you for introducing us to Thomas and giving us an opportunity to talk about what the employees do. In the fall, now we are talking about the beautiful leaf colors, and after the leaf colors, they turn brown and they fall on the ground. Everybody wants to get rid of their leaves. What do we do? What does the city do for our residents?
For generations, decades, the city Parks and Streets Department have picked up the leaves in residential areas and then taken them to our compost facility. For decades, we have started the first Monday after Thanksgiving. Well, we have decided to switch that and start earlier for a lot of different reasons. We're starting November 17th, but it still may take us a month or more to canvass the whole city.
Okay, and there are two crews at work. I understand one starts, how do they start that? I know they work towards the middle. Where do they start from?
They start up in College Heights,
Northeast
area, and work and zigzag their way down.
Okay.
And then the park starts in the very south part of town, south of 32nd Street on the west side, and then they zigzag up.
Okay. So,
and then we see who meets in the middle.
Right, well, it's very windy these past few days, so I'm hoping leaves are falling for people, then get out and rake them. And how do they put their leaves? You know, what's the proper procedure to get leaves out?
Well, we ask them to rake it to the curb. Do not put it in the street. Rake it to their sidewalk or their parkway or the edge of their property, but not in the street. And not in bags either. Our guys don't have time to stop and unload bags.
Right.
Because the vacuum sucks up the leaves, and if they try to suck up a bag or a rock or a big tree limb, it you know, clogs up the machine, and then we have to stop.
Slows down. And we're starting earlier, like you said, because the colder weather, we tend to have more precipitation as we go on. So hopefully we can get this done sooner. Is that right?
Sooner or on time.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Hopefully we'll get done before any severe ice and snow and rain slows us down or stops,
Okay.
makes us stop.
Okay, and again, if people have questions, they can always call one of us, and we'll be happy to share more information about that thing. So everything sounds so simple and getting things done. I want to remind the residents about our extended hours at the Recycling Center, noon to 6, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yes.
And 9 to 3 on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yes.
That one I always have trouble with. So
Yes.
now it's towards the holiday season. People may be packing some packages. This is kind of a seasonal note. What do you have that can help us if we're wrapping something and sending to grandma's?
Actually, we're busy all year giving out packing peanuts, bubble wrap, foam wrap, shipping boxes, moving boxes. If they want to ship something, they don't need to buy anything. Just come to us. We'll give you the boxes and the packing material for it.
That's awesome.
For free.
That really works out. Now, again, holidays, again, Christmas trees and wrapping papers, cardboards, all of that. Remind them to, well, the Christmas trees, you'll have to tell me in a minute where those go, but there are other things, the ribbons and the wrappings, all of that can be recyclable?
We prefer not to have the ribbons.
Okay.
They
okay.
get messed up in the baling process.
Okay.
So, but the wrapping paper is good.
Okay, and the boxes.
And absolutely boxes.
Well,
love
I'm still
boxes.
old-fashioned, and even though it's Christmas, I still use the funny papers a lot to wrap presents, and I try to find a comic strip
I do too.
that relates to the person I'm giving it to. I call me old-fashioned. My dad, mom used to do that. So
One time I was desperate and used foil.
yeah, well, that's a good idea.
It's kind of expensive, but
Yeah.
when that's all you have,
Well, and I've seen people that have a shirt that they're going to be giving or something. They may use that as the outer wrapper for maybe a purse or whatever. If there's two items, but that's unusual. That's something different. So, okay, now Christmas trees and the holiday trees. What do we do with those at the end of the year?
We accept live Christmas trees, live or natural, I guess I should say, at several points in town, and it's free drop-off. We start the day after Christmas, but we ask people to take all the ornamentation off, all the tinsel, the stand.
Yeah, yeah.
Believe it or not, we get them with the stand still on.
Oh, wow.
But that's just more labor for us to do.
Sure.
And then historically, we used to just chip it up with the tree limbs that we chipped up. But here lately, the last several years, people come and get them and use them for fish habitat in different streams and lakes. And we're happy to let them have it.
Which way they need to use. So, okay. Well, I have answered all of my questions that I had on my little sheets of paper. Is there anything else that we need to address?
Well, a lot of people just have weird stuff and they don't know what to do with it, and so they call me. So other times, they may say, I've got all these kitchen cabinets, what do? I go, take them to the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Restore, right.
Yeah, there's very few things that I don't have an answer for. I hate to say goes in the trash.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah. So Mary Ann's a great resource. If you need anything, call her at the city. If you can't get a hold of her, get a hold of me, and I'll track her down. So, but that wraps it for this this afternoon's show, and I appreciate you all watching. This was Joplin Insider. I'm Lynn Onstot for the City of Joplin, and I will see you next time. Thank you.